Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be making Scotch eggs from the Steve Ranella cookbook. This is the MeatEater Cookbook. He has a show out on Netflix and it's a really good show. If you guys haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it. He's based out of Bozeman, Montana, which is pretty cool. We made these on Dylan's birthday last year and they were so delicious, so I decided to do a video. So let's just go ahead and get started. First things first is we're going to boil our eggs. So you want to get a pot of water boiling, and then I'm just going to do 4 Scotch eggs today. So we're going to add our 4 eggs to the boiling water for only 5.5 minutes. And you only want to do 5.5 because after we fry them, when we cut them open, we want them to be still kind of runny inside. That's the goal. So I'm going to go ahead and add my eggs. Alexa, set the timer for 5.5 minutes. Okay, so we're going to make the sage paste. So what you're going to need is a 1/2 ounce of fresh sage, finely chopped. So you need 1/2 ounce of sage. While the eggs boil, we're going to make our sage paste. I'm just finely chopping the sage. Now we're going to need a 1/2 teaspoon of flaky salt. So I'm just going to take this, and we're going to make the paste just directly on the board, like this. And then we're going to take a 1/2 teaspoon of olive oil. Oops. And then you're just going to take your knife and then just kind of turn all of that into a paste. Just kind of use the side of the knife to just kind of smash it. Okay, so now we have that just kind of smashed into a paste-like consistency. And then we're going to start to make our sausage. So I do already have venison sausage in here. This is one that we made last year. You guys can use like any kind of your own sausage, whatever you want. We're going to combine our venison, our fatback. We already put fatback in it whenever we turned it into sausage. So if you're starting from scratch, this is like what you'll need. And then we're going to add our sage paste to that. So our eggs are done, so I'm just going to take them from the pot and then just put them into our ice bath. So next we're going to add 1/3 cup of milk. So I'm just using this, I'm actually using almond milk. And then we're going to need 1/3 cup of breadcrumbs. Okay, so next we need 2 teaspoons of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of rosemary. So I'm just going to sprinkle that in. This smells so good, by the way. The sage and the rosemary. Next we're going to need 1/8 teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg. So I'm just going to use just a tiny bit of this ground. It's 1/8 teaspoon, so just a tiny bit. And then we're going to add juniper berries. So these are juniper berries. The first time that we made Scotch eggs, we didn't put these in there because they are kind of hard to find, honestly. We were walking around this little kind of hole in the wall place where we live and they had these, so I'm kind of excited to try it this time. So it just says two of the berries, and you want to grind it up, so I did that. So I'm just going to take like a pinch. It smells interesting. Okay, now we're just going to mix all of that up. So I'm just going to mix that really well. Now that we've got it all mixed together, we're going to measure it out, and we're going to do 4-ounce balls. Oh, that's almost perfect. just kind of make it like a little patty and flatten it out. And this is what we're gonna coat our egg with. So let me actually grab a little platter. Okay, so that should be what they look like. So you want to make sure the thickness is like even all around. And the trickiest part is trying to coat the egg with this. We don't use a lot of fat in our sausage mix, so it doesn't stick together quite as easily. So I did see a trick the other day where if you just put an egg in a glass and then shake it around, it'll make it easier to peel. So it will be kind of weird because I forget they're like not cooked all the way. So they're a lot softer than just like a regular boiled egg. But that does work. Uh-oh. We're gonna do 3 today. I normally always make an extra egg just in case something happens. It normally does. So, moving on. So now we're just going to want to pick up that mixture with the egg on top, and then this part is kind of tricky, so you're just gonna wanna like work the meat around the egg. Once we like dip it into the egg and stuff, it'll start to stick a little bit better, but this is always kind of like the toughest part. So you just want to work it till you can get all of your meat to cover your egg. Sometimes I'll cheat a little and grab some mixture like from my leftovers and kind of fill it in if I can't get it covered all the way. Like I said though, if you're working with like actual pork rather than wild game, it might be a little bit easier for yours to stick, but because wild game is so lean, it just doesn't have a lot of fat, so it doesn't stick together as well, but so much better for you, just saying. Now I'm just gonna pop these into the freezer for like 20 minutes. And so you just really want to get them to kind of just stick together. That way it's just a little bit easier to work with. And then next you're going to need all-purpose flour. So 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 2 large eggs beaten. And then instead of doing, he has 2 different kinds of breadcrumbs, but I was out. So I'm just going to use 1 type of breadcrumb, and I think that should be fine, the flour and the breadcrumb. And then I have my fryer going. I just got this one. It was really cheap from like Walmart a few years ago. So I have 5 cups of peanut oil in there. Okay, we're gonna just put them in flour first. Then we're gonna coat them with the egg wash. There's no clean way to do this. You just get down and dirty. And then we're gonna cover it with our breadcrumbs. Like so. And then I'm going to put that in my pan and then move on to my next one. I'm just kind of doing it this way so it stays together a little easier. So flour, then my egg wash, then back into our breadcrumbs. And we'll just do 2 at a time. So I'm just washing my hands real fast. So we're gonna heat our oil to 350 degrees, and then we're going to fry our eggs depending on the pot size for 9 minutes, and then we're gonna let them rest for 1 minute. So now we're gonna put our eggs in. Whew. Alexa, set the timer for 9 minutes.
9 minutes, 7 minutes.
So I'm gonna make a little honey sriracha for some dipping sauce because we like our sauces. I like to dip. And I think like a maple syrup would be something like that. Maybe something like a touch sweetness if you like that, since it's kind of like a brunch food. Or like a hot sauce, but I'm going to do honey sriracha. I feel like a little sweet, little spicy might be really good. This would be a really good thing to make when you have some friends over for brunch. It's like, feels so fancy. And they're really, really good. When our friends came to visit us, we made them and they were really good. Alexa, stop the timer. Ooh. Okay, so those are nice and golden brown. Crispy. Ooh, yum. Yum, yum. And I'm just gonna cut into this, and hopefully the egg will be just perfect. Oh, yes. Yes. That's how you want it, just a little runny like that. Look how delicious. So good. Give me one more bite. It's really good with like a honey sriracha, a little sweetness if you like that. I love a sweet breakfast, so for me it's like a nice little touch. Okay guys, that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and let me know what you guys think of these Scotch eggs. They're seriously delicious. You won't regret it if you make them. Alright guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!